Hi guys, so today I have a brush review for you. This is the EcoTools Fresh and Flawless 5-piece complexion set. So they are a set of brushes that are geared towards specifically your face. This set is not designed to do your entire face of makeup, like eyes, everything, all of that together. This set is more just focused specifically on your face, like foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, powder, that type of thing. If you're interested in learning more about this brush set, then just keep on watching. So I purchased mine off of Ulta.com, and when it came in the mail, I'd have to say I was a bit surprised at how small the brushes are. I was imagining more full-size brushes since it's more about like face and I don't know, I just typically feel like face brushes should be a little bit larger. They do have them in store now, so you don't have to just order them from Ulta online. They have them in the physical stores as well now. So it just really nicely shows you over here what each brush is supposed to be for, what each brush is called. So it really kind of specifies out very clearly what each brush is and what they think that you should use it for. Obviously, when you get a kit like this, you can use the brushes for anything you really want to. So just because it says, you know, concealer brush does not, as you will see in a little bit, does not mean it specifically has to be used as a concealer brush. So yeah, so that's just the overall view of it, and then I'll get into the brushes specifically. Very first brush, and it's the flat concealer brush, or that's what they're calling it anyways. So they all have very cute ferrules. They all have a similar floral design on them, which is really adorable. And this one is colored green. And you can see that this is really shaped a lot like a flat eyeshadow brush. And because of the size of it, that's what I like using it for. You certainly could use it to spread concealer underneath your eyes, but just for my purposes, I found I like this a lot better as a eyeshadow lay down brush. So just like patting on eyeshadows or blending them out a little bit in the crease. That's how I like using this one. The second brush in the set is this blue one, and it's a buffing concealer brush. So the handle's a little bit thicker on this one, and you can see it has the same floral type pattern, but just on a blue ferrule. So it's kind of nice that they're color coded. And this one is quite dense, and it has a sort of blunt kind of cutoff on the top. And the shape of this one reminds me a lot of one of the new Sigma Precision ones or something like that, where it's like a concealer brush that has a very flat cut top. And I like this one a lot for putting on concealer and then using this to just kind of like dab and sort of stipple around my eyes, or on a blemish. I'll just, you know, dab the concealer or foundation heavily on it and then use it just to sort of blend it out. And I find that's really effective. So I like this brush a lot, and it's very different than any other kind of concealer brush that I have in my little brush stash right now. So that's pretty neat. This third one here is the purple one, and it's the Precision Foundation brush. So it's a longer shape and kind of paddle-like, and then you turn to the side, it's also very thin, and it's not very dense at all. It has a lot of give to it. So personally, I think with this being a mini size brush and a paddle foundation brush, this would take a very long time to paddle on all of your foundation. And since this brush is so small, I just found it was really difficult to apply foundation this way and not get streaks. Just because this is such a tiny little paddle brush, and you're just sitting there just swiping and windshield wipering away, and it's taking forever. So that's not really how I would prefer to use it. I think this brush would probably be more useful, at least to me, using it maybe to spread out concealer. I have used it to kind of apply highlighter to the tops of my cheekbones. I think that would be really good too. But I would have to say, out of all the brushes in this little kit, this is probably my least favorite. I don't see myself reaching for it a lot. You certainly could find uses for it, but I don't think the shape or anything about it is really a standout feature out of the whole set. Next, you have the Complexion Blending Brush. And this one actually reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques buffing brush, just kind of with the shape of it, how it's kind of a more dense, kind of rounded shape. You can see from the side, it's a little bit pinched in the ferrule, but very soft, even though it's dense. It's not as dense as the Real Techniques buffing brush, but I feel like it's the same kind of method in the way that you would use it in applying foundation, then buffing it on, and that's how I use it. And I really enjoyed it like that. The Real Techniques brush is quite large, so the smaller size for this is convenient. I would say though, the Real Techniques brush is denser and obviously bigger. So it kind of covers more space, like when you're blending in your foundation, and probably a little quicker to blend things in than this one. But I do like this type of brush for blending in foundation. And I've also used it and enjoyed using it with cream bronzer. So putting like a streak of cream bronzer on and then use this to just really buff it in and get like a very nice natural finish to the skin. This last one is a powder brush, and they're calling it a full powder brush. Again, this is kind of small in my opinion for a powder brush. If you're just trying to sweep it like, you know, all over your face to, you know, really encompass your face quickly. So the way I've used it more while I've been trying out this set is for blush, more precise kind of blush brush just to go right on your cheekbones. Also bronzer again, just because it's more precise and small. So I like it like that. Very cute. So more of a paddle kind of brush, and then got a little bit of a pinch to the ferrule. And just to give you an idea, whenever I keep saying like the size of these brushes, so this is an EcoTools normal powder brush. So you can see how large it is and how big the paddle is. And then this is this is the new little full powder brush. So I think you can see, like, you know, size comparison, like this one is just gonna cover more ground, you know, than this one is. And then obviously the handle shape, or the size of the handles, are very, very different. Just something to keep in mind so that you guys kind of know what you're getting, because I know whenever I ordered it online, I was just a little bit surprised when they showed up and they were little bitty. But they've worked out, but I was just a little bit of a shock whenever they came and they're like little midget brushes. So overall, I do quite like this set. Probably these three are my favorite, just because I love using this one that they call a flat concealer brush for eyeshadow, laying it down. And then the buffing concealer brush I think is just really unique and interesting, and it really is nice for blending out concealer. And then the one they call the full powder brush, I do enjoy the smaller size for more precise application of blush and bronzer. I wouldn't necessarily say that I like using it for powder though. So again, just kind of being open to being creative and using the brushes in whatever way works best for you. And the brush that I get the least use out of, and would be my least favorite, would be this foundation brush, just because for foundation brushes is just so small. And I get there trying to have like a travel set, but that is almost, you know, ineffective because it's so flimsy and has so much give to it, and it's just such a small brush. I just find that the blending brush is a much better foundation brush, ironically, than the foundation brushes. There definitely been other sets from EcoTools that I like better. The one that came with a little clutch, I think it's a 6-piece day to night set or something like that. I'll link the video review I did of that one, but that's probably my favorite kit that EcoTools has ever come out with as far as a set goes. But this one isn't bad either. Definitely, you know, some interesting different brush shapes, and I love the decorative ferrules. They're really cute and gives like an artsy kind of look to it, so that's really nice as well. And yeah, and if you wanted to, you could keep this little book to kind of keep everything organized. So that's it for this review, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free and I appreciate it. So till next time, guys, see ya!